A little bit more about duplicate content. Most window treatment and awning companies typically serve a 25 to 50 mile radius, and there's a lot of little towns in there. And as I said, a lot of business owners would create all these different pages and then change just the city name. Well, really what you need to do now is only, build all these different sub-city pages, but they have to be unique. They have to mention landmarks and maybe streets or other locations or, things like that. They really need to be very specific for that particular location. And if you've done work in that location, even better, because you can post pictures of work that we've done in, main city, whatever it is. And another thing that happened over the last couple of years is web developers were creating microsites. So they would buy window treatments. Let's say, I'll use some of my cities around here. Window treatments Kirkwood, which is probably a 20,000 population. And then they buy window treatments Chesterfield. And then they buy window treatments Arnold. And they kind of build this network of microsites. They were typically just one or two pages with the idea that all of these different things would rank in Google. And what happened in most cases, in really all cases, is that Google was smart enough to come and figure out how these are all interlinked together. They really had no quality to it was just one page. It was a landing page that just said, hey, click here. We do window treatments in Kirkwood. Click here to set up an appointment. And there was no quality. There was no growth of the web page. It was always the same. It was stale. And really what you should be doing is the opposite. You should still build those kind of things and build that quantity of pages, but do it on one main domain so that every time Google comes back, your site is just getting bigger and bigger with more information, good information, and they will quickly move you up in the ranks. Your pages must be unique from one page to the next and from one site to the next, although I would recommend really having one main website that dominates for all kinds of different terms. Number two, too many irrelevant or low quality links pointing back to your site. So in the past, it used to be all about the links and how many links you had, and not necessarily the quality of those links. It was really a numbers game. The Penguin update the Penguin update addressed that, and now really it's all about quality links, as we talked about. So one of the things that if you've been around for a while, you may have to end up doing is going back and reviewing your link profile. And there are some services that help you with that, like Majestic SEO, which is at majestic.com. You can get your link profile from there. You can also get it from Google Search Console, which is free. And that's google.com/webmasters. But you can actually download a list of all of your links into an Excel file there. And you're going to have to basically go through every link and say, oh, this one's from Russia, and this one's from Poland, and this one is from a bad quality forum, and really what you have to do is you have to go through every one of these, and it's kind of crappy. But then you have to take that list and upload that list back to Google and say, we basically disavow these links. The official way to do it is to reach out to each of those platforms, or this place in Russia, for instance, and say, please remove my link. However, it's probably not going to happen. You probably can't even find who owns that website in the first place. So step two, after you've reached out and done that kind of due diligence, is to upload that list to Google and say, please, we disavow having any relationship with this particular website. Then they will remove that as part of the overall ranking factors for your website, and you can actually move up in the rankings just by doing that one thing. Not a short, easy task by any means. And then work to diversify your anchor text and build more quality, relevant links. So anchor text is when you see a link somewhere, it could be something very generic like click here to visit our website. It could be your URL, or it could be in the middle of a blog. There are just some words that link back to your site. So it's good to have a diversification of those different kinds of links so that they're not all the same. You could also have brand links where it actually links to your business name, and that is the link in itself. Number 3, by the way, if you have any questions, don't forget to post those in there. I'm happy to go back and answer anything you may have. All right, number 3, you need a real physical office to rank well on Google Maps. So with the Pigeon update, Google Maps made a major change to their system, and that system, or that update really focused on the local map listings for businesses. So people who had fake addresses just to get listed in there, people who used UPS stores, mailboxes, etc., some of those kind of places really got hit. And if you worked from home and you had a business address that was kind of hidden in Google My Business, they hit you as well. There's no problem with working from home and putting so on your Google My Business profile. There's a checkbox there that says, people do not come to my location, things like that. But people were faking other addresses and trying to kind of trick the system. And most of those things that people are trying to trick the system have been snuffed out, and if identified by the search engines, you're going to take a ranking hit. They may even remove you totally from their index. So you need to have a real physical business address in the city you want to rank for. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the main city. It just needs to be fairly close to that so that Google understands that you are part of this bigger area, and you can start to rank for those things.